Well, dozens of students, parents, and alumni speaking during public comment at the Green Bay Area Public Schools Board meeting tonight as the district considers potential program cuts and consolidation options amid a multi-million-dollar budget deficit for the 2027-28 school year. Now, much of the discussion focused on the future of the district's Fine Arts Institute. Speakers tonight sharing testimony on how the program has changed their lives or the lives of their children, pointing to opportunities in music, theater, and dance. Now, the district says the program is disproportionately more expensive than other school programming and is conducting a study to determine whether it's worth the investment. Some speakers raised questions about how the district is evaluating the program.
It has been stated that the Institute, as well as other programs, are going through an audit to determine return on investment. I am curious how the board plans to show ROI on a school program such as this. This is focused education. Do you ask for ROI on the math or science departments? How do you show return on investment on self-esteem, confidence, or college acceptance?
Well, no decision was made on potential cuts tonight. The board is expected to continue budget discussions in the coming weeks, with results from the district study expected later this spring.